I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your dumpster fire for the week of December 12th to December 18th. I nailed it.
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.
We have a whole crew here today. We have Dave in the house with his hot sauce. Oh,
Hello.
We need to get some of that. We have Luna.
Hi.
She's going to be commenting on the great Quidditch controversy.
Yes,
we have Brent.
Hello.
Resident
Brent
Harry
is-
Potter expert.
Fancy makeup artist and housekeeper of Hufflepuff.
Still nothing was funnier than I was like, Maggie, are you the one who used to wait in line and dress up? And then I was like, oh, it must have been Sam.
I was like, that was not me. That was definitely
And then
me.
Sam's like, yeah, that was me. Yes, it's our wrap party / Festivus / final episode of the year, and we are excited to share it with you, dear watchers of the dumpster fire. We are off until January 10th of 2022. Dear Lord, save us all. We know what happens when dumpster fire goes on hiatus. The entire world comes undone.
Oh, boy.
So God bless you all. Good luck and Godspeed. We bring you Dumpster Fire 79. We are as old as Biden is. Woo-hoo! Happy birthday. I don't remember. I start singing like, for all acquaintance. It's the wrong song, Joe. It's the wrong song. So many things came out last night that I wish we could cover. Like the Kamala Harris, Charlemagne the God interview.
They're acting like they can't hear me, yo.
I can hear you.
Oh, so who's
I can hear you.
the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden?
Fauci correcting Biden, stumbling on his words.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
570, I don't want to read, I'm not sure I got the right number, the total number of boosters.
Well, moving into the stories we are going to cover, troll in exile. People in Trump's circle begged Meadows to intervene with Trump when January 6th was happening.
Yeah, this is great because I love the idea that Hannity, Laura Ingraham, and Don Jr. were all texting Meadows like, hey, you need to get him to stop. And I just love the idea that Don Jr. doesn't have his dad's cell phone. This is like a Kendall Roy move on Donnie Jr.'s part. Kendall Roy being like, Dad, you need to stop. You need to calm down.
I'll throw in a blowjob. I'll throw in a reach around. Hell, I'll even cup his balls. Yeah.
This is not the world we live in. They all went on the like Fox that night, and then they were like, oh, this was Antifa.
Wow.
Yeah. So they were all texting during the day, and then at night they're like, yeah, get your supporters in line, Big Don. And then they went on TV and they were like, this is Antifa and instigators.
They lied?
Can you believe it? People in the media lie. I can't believe it. They have one thing that they're doing during the day when they're texting people, and then at night they're like, this is the work of Antifa and instigators, as they're texting Mark Meadows, who threw all of these people under the bus for no reason at all, for the coup. I know I should take it more seriously, but every time I hear that it's a coup, I just die laughing. Maybe it's just the word. Maybe it's because coups in other countries mean like violent, militant takeovers of governments and murders and people going in exile. We sent Donald Trump into digital exile. That's where he went after the coup.
That's right.
He's not like hiding in South America.
I just can't believe that they thought Mark Meadows could get him in line. Can anyone get that man in line?
The only person who maybe stands a chance is Ivanka.
Yeah.
Maybe. And even she's, I don't think, has that much power.
Donnie Jr. doesn't have her number either.
I feel like they don't get along. Okay. What's next?
Tax the
Sorry,
rich.
Hannity was texting me. He doesn't want me to ruin my career with dumpster fire. I need to get my people in line. We don't want to start a revolution out there.
Tax the rich. Nancy Pelosi is against prohibiting sitting members of Congress from trading stocks by claiming this is a free market economy.
Members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress.
No, I don't know to the second one. This is a free market and people
we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
Free markets for me, but not thee. This is the name of the game. Of course, Nancy doesn't want them to disallow these legislators from trading stocks. She's made millions of dollars doing this. Insider trading. She makes $220,000 a year and she's worth $120 million. That math doesn't work out. I'm sorry. Unless you have inside access to information. It's so bad that the Redditors follow her husband's stocks because they know that those will be the successful stocks. They know it's the good tips. Mm-hmm. Because they have the inside information. There's like 180 of them who have been found guilty of violating the Stock Act in one way or another. And say what you will about the coup, but at least they took it to the people who deserve it. It's a wildly unpopular opinion. But they did go after the people that I think we should be all going after, which is our shitty, corrupt politicians who don't give a crap about us. If we can throw Martha Stewart in jail for this, why can't we throw Nancy Pelosi? I really think we need to get a comment. If I was a reporter, I'd be out there. If I was a journalist, which I'm not, this is not a real news show, I would be out there trying to get a comment from Martha Stewart on this bitch immediately. Mm-hmm. Why isn't anyone interviewing her about this?
I don't know.
Because they don't do their job in journalism like we here at Dumpster Fire. Maybe we are a news show. Not. No one's sleeping on Nancy's sheets. I'm going to try and track down Martha. This makes me want to like burn it all down though.
Uh-huh. Well, Jaron was reading us the stats yesterday where it was like, I don't even know how to phrase it, but their like rate of success is 69%. And it's like better than Warren Buffett's.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, she has a better track record than Warren Buffett, which is just ridiculous. These people should all be in jail. I don't know. Maybe somebody should like storm the Capitol. No, I'm just kidding. Not. Hold on. Laura's texting me. She's telling me that's a bad idea. We've tried that once before.
All right. Parade of a single moron. Nancy Pelosi doesn't know where the attitude of lawlessness comes from.
The fact is that there is an attitude of lawlessness in our country that springs from I don't know where. Maybe you do.
Oh, Nancy Pelosi. That quote's so annoying. She's so condescending when she says these things. She's like, I don't know. Maybe you know. Abe, it feels like she's kind of implying that this is the press's fault somehow, which I get it. But Nancy, your party is the party that's been screaming, defund the police for like 2 years straight. I don't know where the attitude of lawlessness might be coming from. Perhaps, I don't know, letting people just do whatever the they want in giant cities, taking stuff from Nordstrom's and smash and grabbing or looting or whatever we're not allowed to call it. Organized theft. I
Plundering
apologize.
the booty.
Yeah, now they're like shutting down San Francisco. It's just so ridiculous. Now they're realizing, the Democrats are realizing that this open crime spree that's going on in America and the rising crime is actually starting to affect their poll numbers. And suddenly they're like Mayor Giuliani. All of them are becoming pro-police and refund to the police. Maybe the attitude of lawlessness is coming from the fact that you don't obey any of your own mandates, lawmakers. If you are constantly caught disobeying, telling people that they have to be locked down while you get your hair done, go eat at the French Laundry, go party with Tony, suddenly the people are going to start feeling that very strong urge of anarchy growing within them. And that is not a great thing to fester in a populace. But you are responsible for this when you're not obeying your own mandates that you're putting on your citizens or your subjects, I should say. I don't know. Maybe we do need to.
There seems to be a theme developing in this dumpster fire.
What'd he say, Bridget?
He accidentally sent me a dick pic he meant for his dad. We have a guest for our Commiefornia segment and also someone we just want you all to see and meet, Dave Yates of the Ha Ha Hot Sauce Empire.
Greetings, Dumpster Fire fans. So yeah, he's just a hot sauce salesman who moonlights as a writer and comedian. Yeah. I look at it's perfect that it's Commiefornia and I'm dressed like the most commie punk that this state has ever seen.
That's why
I'm just trying to move about without getting hassled, okay? This is the mask I wear to move about freely in this state.
This is how you know dumpster fire is a deep state plan to undermine the conservative, the right, the new right.
The new right is the left, everybody.
The new right is the old left. All right.
Commiefornia. San Francisco Mayor London Breed called bullshit on progressive criminal justice reformers.
And it's time that the reign of criminals who are destroying our city, it is time for it to come to an end. More aggressive with the changes in our policies and less tolerant of all the bullshit that has destroyed our city.
This is some shameless shit. I cannot believe she has the nerve after just jamming out to Tony while freaking criminals are smashing, grabbing Nordstrom's. Every other person's getting carjacked, and there are just addicts dying in the streets, living in filth, that she suddenly woke up and is like, the bullshit that has somehow happened on your watch. This happened on your watch, lady. I don't understand.
Ugh.
I don't know. To act like they haven't been co-signing this bullshit all along is disgusting.
Well, it's when their is called bullshit. That's when it's like, wait a second.
The purse has finally gotten angry.
Yeah, not the miles and miles of shanty towns. we're like or Hoovervilles. That's what they used to call them back at the Depression. Shanty towns and Hoovervilles.
Yeah.
No, couldn't have been that.
No, some donor got mad, and the female Giuliani is finally making some good points. I don't know. How do you feel about this one up in San Francisco?
I know I'm dressed like a native San Francisco. Okay? It's just so they don't rob me. I'm one of you. See the tie-dye? Don't steal from me. Don't bust out the windows of my Volkswagen, please.
Your Volkswagen van.
It's a VW bus.
Yeah,
it's a bus. It's not a van, Maggie.
Come on, Maggie.
Come on, Maggie.
I'm not down with the hippie lingo,
Keep on
obviously.
trucking, Maggie. Keep on trucking is the motto.
What else have we got in Commiefornia?
California was, up until recently, illegally paying 6 figures to a superintendent of equity who lives and works as a life coach in Philadelphia. He was in the wedding of the state school's chief who hired him. He has since resigned.
Red flags go off the minute I hear the words life coach. And this is as someone who was a life coach in my life.
We can smell our own kind. It's someone that's gone to 12-step meetings like, you know what? I can turn a profit on this shit.
It's true. I love that the superintendent of equity is a hilarious job title. I mean, I'll call people racist for 6 figures a year.
I'll call your uncle racist for $100. You buy 10 bottles of ha-ha hot sauce from me, I will call your gram racist as
Yeah, that's what the superintendent of equity gets to do. And you don't even have to be in California. You can be sitting in Philly. What, did he get hired because his friend was in his wedding or something?
Apparently, did they create this job position for him?
They create all these job positions. How else are you going to give people jobs who got gender studies degrees?
called the super master of nepotism.
I love, too, how he has since resigned. Like, he resigned this bullshit made-up position that was
because he got caught.
Yeah.
Well, because
there was an article, and then Kevin Kiley wrote a letter to like some other congressperson.
He wrote it to, I think, the California Congress. And was like, hey, this guy's making $100 and something thousand a year.
$160,000.
And he doesn't even live in California. And he's the superintendent of
got
equity.
a life coach business in Philly. How does this work?
He makes way more money than $160,000. These fools make like $500 an hour to escort rich people that have addiction problems to places.
That's true.
I once drove a drunk rich guy from the Pacific Palisades all the way up to San Francisco, got paid $900 to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was passed out. He was passed out in the back of my Volkswagen the whole time. He woke up about the last 10 minutes of the drive. Like, where am I going? Your mom and dad's house on the top of this mountain in San Francisco.
Oh my God.
Wow.
These are the kind of jobs that exist in California.
Yeah. You too can get paid 6 figures a year to call Californians racist if you play your cards right out there, folks.
If Dave doesn't beat you to it first.
I'll do it for half the cost.
Dave is undercutting my rates. What's next?
Los Angeles Unified School District to delay vaccine mandate for students until fall of 2022 so students aren't forced to study at home.
Oh, you mean the vaccine mandate is going to be tardy? Hey-o.
They say students are going to have to learn from home when half of these kids don't have fucking Wi-Fi.
I know.
So they're learning from the McDonald's parking lot.
Yeah. And they expect them to like go get vaccinated. And none of these kids are going to go do this. They're too busy smashing and grabbing.
They're looting and pillaging. Like, we need to bring pirate terminology back. Like, no one's upset when it's pirate term.
Plundering the booty.
Plundering the booty.
I wonder how I would have felt about this as a teenager. I bet it would have been fucking pain in the ass. I would have been like, "This is big pharma."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're a teen,
exactly
you're
like you are now.
Pfizer's trying to stop me from learning.
No, if they were telling you to do something, you would have been like, absolutely not.
We've been raging against this stupid policy for weeks here on Dumpster Fire, and Gavin Newsom, as we said last week, instituted this policy and thought that he was going to be the big guy out front of the pack with his nice mandate, making all the kids get vaccines, and then no other governors followed suit. It's wildly unpopular, and none of the teachers want to go have to teach the kids remotely, so now they're worried there won't be enough teachers, and suddenly he's just backtracking and slowly pushing the goalpost back into next year because it's so politically unpopular, but he has to save face. I fucking hate this guy.
I just think it's so funny that these kids can barely eat, but yet they expect them to get these vaccines on the ready. It's like, are you looking for more of a reason to keep poor kids out of school? And that's what it seems like. It's like, how many obstacles can we create for the impoverished communities to get to school? Right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work anymore, so we're going to keep them from learning so that someone has to take these jobs.
It's crazy. And it always hurts the kids that they say they care about the most, which is the most vulnerable. All of these policies, all of them. It doesn't hurt like the rich kids of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, they're on the private school bus getting to school. It's like,
Or they're like being homeschooled because
they're getting
their parents
vaccinated
are
on the bus.
Yeah, the doctor
And
comes
I'm
to
like,
their
"Oh, I do
home
this
to
for
vaccinate
vaccination."
them.
That's how you know, like, I'm a recovering addict. I'm like, vaccinated.
Yeah.
That's what it does. You vaccine right here.
Straight into the vein, please.
That was like that Italian nurse. Why are they looking for veins?
Get wrecked, big tech.
Get wrecked, big tech.
Get wrecked.
Google announces it will fire all unvaccinated employees who do not abide by the company's COVID-19 vaccination policy.
You know when you try and Google something, your spelling's all messed up because you don't know how to spell anymore. You don't have to. And they should have something like, did you mean to get vaccinated before you came to work? Google's going to be all up in everybody's business when they're on there Googling, how do I get out of vaccinations? Google calls you into the office.
It's like, hey, we brought you in here today to discuss how to get away with not being vaccinated at work. It's like, I should have used Bing.
I should have used Bing! Elon's going to pick up all the Google scraps for half price. He's going to be like, come to Texas. I won't make you get vaccinated.
Put you on the Tesla lines.
We'll actually put a chip in your brain.
Yeah, you thought the chip was in the vaccine? It's in your brain. Hashtag Neuralink.
Okay, what is happening? Anti-mandate protesters got arrested during a sit-in at the Cheesecake Factory and Applebee's in New York City.
Anyone that eats at Applebee's should be arrested.
Hey, stand for your rights. You know what I'm saying is correct.
There were only like 2 people who got arrested because
thought it was more than
anti-vaxxers
that.
hate Applebee's.
Right.
Too, but it was like we said that those 2 guys showed up to see if JFK Jr. was going to be there. When he didn't appear, they were just like, we hate the mandate.
I love the corporate shells yelling shame at these people as they're getting arrested. They're like, shame, shame on you. Red Robin for life. Like, subscribe, and comment. Touch our jingle bells and buttons. Make sure you tell Dave your favorite part of his jokes in the segment.
Critique all of Dave's jokes.
Tell your friends about us.
All right, capitalism always wins. Chevy releases a tone-deaf 9/11 ad.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Over a very dramatic video, the tweet read, on September 11th, 2001, firefighter Craig Monahan rushed in his Chevy Silverado to ground zero on his day off. When he returned to his truck, now beaten up from the day's wreckage, it started right up. Chevy. They basically come out and they're like, a lot of people died on 9/11, but you know what didn't die? My truck. That's the gist of this ad. It's so dark. Their next ad will just be George Bush driving a Chevy with a mission accomplished flag, like waving in the back. He's like, yep, that's right. We did it. People were commenting about how mad this was making them and inappropriate and gross it was, because it is. And and then Chevy added to the ad, they're like,
we appreciate your interest and understand your frustration. If you would like, DM us with your zip code and details on what you're looking for in a Silverado, and we can help try locating one near you.
We hear your frustration. Let us know where you live. That's just what you want from a corporation. It's so tone deaf. I feel like they were like, oh, it's been 20 years.
Yep.
We can get away with this.
We passed the 20-year mark. It's been long enough, right?
Yeah.
The commenters were so funny, though.
Oh, yeah.
There was that one, the two people who were playing off each other in the jokes.
Jet fuel can't
melt Silverados.
Yeah. Then why didn't they build the entire World Trade Center out of Chevy Silverados?
Suck it, terrorists.
Canceled. CNN fires Cuomo producer John Griffin after being arrested and charged for enticing underage girls to engage in unlawful sexual activity.
Okay, that sounded bad, but when you read the article, it's 100 times worse than it even sounded. It's disgusting. Do all men who get a taste of power automatically become pedos? Or is it that you have to be a pedo to become a man in power? I'm not sure the chicken or the egg situation here. But there does seem to be a relationship to power and pedos, and I am now a QAnon supporter. The tunnel goes under the Getty and directly to under CNN. That is the tunnel from CNN to the Getty. What is up with CNN? How did we catch the Cuomos before we caught this guy?
Disgusting.
I know, because it was so blatant, too. He was like writing shit down in messaging apps.
Yeah, and these messaging apps are often messaging apps like swingers and people looking for threesomes and all this stuff are using. And it sounds like he was trying to get in touch with these parents of these young girls and convince them that they needed to teach their daughters how to be subservient to men and be sexually proficient. And he managed to even buy some of them tickets to his
with their moms.
With their mom, and
those moms should be arrested.
He sexually assaulted some 9-year-old, and like I don't fucking know why the mom hasn't been arrested yet. I don't understand anything. I don't understand anything about this story. Mostly, this guy isn't even on camera, and he's getting away with this.
He's behind the camera. Oh.
I don't know. CNN has a problem. Yeah. They have a lot of nerve taking the moral high ground on literally anything at this point, because half their staff is either jerking it on Zoom meetings, sexually harassing staffers or whoever they want, and also apparently raping children.
Jesus.
Yeah. What the f is going on, CNN?
Clinton News Network.
It is. We live in the darkest timeline. We live in the darkest timeline.
We're prophets.
We're prophets.
Mr. Big is alive. Peloton released an ad featuring Chris Noth alive and well.
Should we take another ride? Life's too short not to.
We called it. What we didn't call was that Christopher Noth is a rapist.
Yeah, Peloton shortly
allegedly
scrapped the ad after sexual assault allegations against Noth.
Pedophiles and rapists rule the world, apparently, and get starring shows and to be producers and presidents. You have to be a pedo to be the president. That's just a fact. It's that the stocks went down when he died, and it doesn't. We didn't hear anything about what happened with the stocks when they found out that they had a rapist in their commercial. To the moon!
By the dip!
This was the perfect time for Bowflex to like come out of the woodwork. There was a comedian who had a great joke that was like, Peloton, we kill rapists. DM.
Yep.
That was great.
Oh God. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so ironic that Peloton had to do damage control because this character died, this beloved character
They
died.
had to do more damage control
Yeah.
for that than for him being a rapist and doing a commercial.
Right. So then they were like, we got to fix this. And they put him in a commercial. And then like 24 hours later, it's like, oh, we got to pull the commercial we just made because he's a rapist.
This could have all been prevented had Peloton legal figured out how are they going to use the bike in the movie.
Yep.
That's the new pitch for Peloton. It's like, see, ladies, if you work on in your Peloton, you can run away from rapists like Chris.
God.
Then we have my nemesis is at it again. Elon Musk is named Time's 2021 Person of the Year.
More importantly, why is Time trolling me? I'm personally offended by this Time. I am personally offended. And then everybody came after him, including Senator
Warren.
I forgot her name for a minute because I was just thinking Senator Pocahontas. And he called her Senator Karen. And I think it's hilarious that then Joy Reid came after him for culturally appropriating the African American vernacular and saying that Karen is like apparently a word that he isn't allowed to use.
And for misappropriating Black vernacular for misogynistic purposes, Elon Musk is the absolute worst.
Although I would say technically he is from Africa, so I think he can use that word.
Just muddy the waters.
I'm not sure about the rules, but technically he is from Africa. So
he was born in Africa.
Yeah. He can make Karen jokes. That's my theory. He's trolling everyone. He makes the worst jokes too. The pee-pee and it looks like you just came pee-pee in your...
Yeah, we were reading some of his tweets and I was like, I don't know if he's worthy of being your nemesis anymore,
he's
Bridget.
Not worthy of it. Not jokes funny. Like that. I mean, I just wish that billionaires could find something better to do. Go to Mars, Elon! Go back to where you came from! Not Africa! Mars! It's not a racist joke.
Sprained my eyes.
Oh boy.
Another rabbit hole. We didn't mean to go down.
We went through a lot of rabbit holes last night.
It was a deep dive.
There are now cards for patients to give their doctors, asking the doctors not to weigh them without their informed consent.
Oh my God. Not even your doctor can fat shame you with science anymore. This is outrageous. Dave was saying they're going to start bringing these to the carnival.
You don't get to guess my weight. It makes me uncomfortable. Now give me that fluffy, plushy toy.
I win. I think it's funny, too, that it's like you give them a card, please don't ask me my weight. And the doctor's like, but it's for your insulin. We need to know what dose to give you. I don't care. I'll lose my toes.
My toes aren't worth it.
I can't see them anyway.
We're not allowed to tell people to lose weight so they don't die of COVID, but we can tell doctors not to weigh us so our feels don't get hurt.
Aww.
We live in the dumbest time in the entire world. Everybody needs to buck up, lose some weight, fatty. And then in the comments of this, all these Europeans were like, oh my God, I didn't know that Americans got weighed at every appointment. Yeah, no Sweden and France, you don't have an obesity epidemic. You're not a bunch of fatties running around everywhere. Like, you would have probably everybody getting weighed too if like 70% of your population was morbidly obese. Those numbers probably aren't right.
But they walk like 20 miles a day.
Yeah, they're in shape. They're Swedish. They're like tall and hot and skinny and models, all of that.
Yeah. And in French, they would just fat shame you relentlessly till you lost weight.
Relentlessly. In French, they'd be saying so much shit. And just as a cherry on top of this amazing story, the doctor who is really behind these cards and the proponent of these is named Dr. Lindo Bacon. You can't write this shit.
Dr. Bacon.
Dr. Bacon, can you Can you please turn your name tag around? Because you're triggering me. I can't stop drooling. I know that I don't want you to weigh me, but all I can think about is how I want to eat you and fry you up. I mean, it's a rabbit hole we went down. It was something.
It was deep. All right.
I recommend you go down it as well if you need a laugh.
007 producer Barbara Broccoli says the future Bond could be non-binary.
Oh, I hope they have Barbara Broccoli assassinated.
Oh boy. Not.
Thank you, Sam.
I just love that the non-binary 007 is going to be like, I'll have a dry martini, shaken and stirred. Shut your mouth, pussy galore. This is the franchise that is like the most misogynistic, toxically masculine franchise in the world.
Not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist. It's better to do it with an open hand.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
And now they're like, we want to create strong rules for women, and we will absolutely not have, what were they saying? They like wouldn't have something, but they will do a non-binary character.
But they wouldn't have a non-British person, right?
Yeah, that it would be British, and British people can be many things.
Okay.
Oh, what does that mean?
Including
what does that
non-binary.
mean?
What can British people be?
Bitches?
Bitches, yeah, exactly. And boring. No,
The new Bond villain's going to be gender pay gap galore.
Just let us have our toxic masculinity.
It never hurt anyone.
Not. We're on fire today. It's going to be a hell of an unedited. Hey, if you want to join us at the unedited party, you can. It's been one hell of an episode, and you've missed some pretty inappropriate shit that is behind the paywall at Phetasy.com.
All right. BDE Award. A man was kicked off a United Airlines flight for wearing women's underwear as a mask.
This man is a hero to us all. He's the hero we deserve in this pandemic, because every time I walk into a restaurant with my mask on, sit down and take it off, I want to have a protest like this.
You're going to have to come off the airplane. They're not going to let you travel. What? Not mask compliance. Illustrating that absurdity by wearing women's underwear on my face sounds perfect.
Did he just get kicked off for wearing a mask? Forget it. I'm out of here.
Jenny says several passengers ended up getting off the plane to support him.
Thank you to them, because they saw something, an injustice, something that didn't make sense, and they stood up.
I also love that other people got off the plane with this guy in solidarity. I need a profile on all of those people. Although I think we're going to find out it was like his wife and kids. They're like, other passengers got off with him in solidarity. And he's like, come on, Karen, bring the kids. We're getting kicked off the flight because of my thong mask. Do we really want to know what's on those panties? I feel like this is just a guy who rolled in after a long night at the strip club, which he just shut down. And he was like, you know what, boys, here's what I'm doing.
Well, you know, it was just like, I mean, he's searching his pockets for a mask, and he pulls out women's underwear and is like, this'll do.
Like, yeah.
But how did he even get on the plane? He must have had a real mask.
Unless everyone else at
Unless
the
they
airport
just didn't
was like,
notice.
go on.
No.
But I wonder if maybe the flight crew was from D.C. because it was going from Miami to D.C. or Fort Lauderdale to D.C. So maybe everybody in Florida was like, yeah, that's so cool. And then he gets on like the D.C. bound plane and they're like, oh,
Sir, you'll have to disembark the plane.
I love this guy.
This is MAGA country.
I'm a big fan of him. I think we should be making a mockery of all of this pageantry every chance we get.
All right, patriarchy so crafty. J.K. Rowling stirs up controversy again by tweeting about police in Scotland logging rape suspects as women if they choose to identify that way.
What is going on in Scotland? I don't know what's going on in Scotland, but they're not bravehearting anymore. What's happening there?
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
It's crazy. They're like Canada.
Yeah.
There are certain countries that are just going all in on this insanity. And they all come after her. And she's like, she was making some Orwell reference and saying the man who raped me with a penis is not a man or whatever.
Right. Well, she tweeted, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, that the penis individual who raped you is a woman.
Yeah. We've been screaming about this, JK. We are on Team JK Rowling. I stand with you. Women! Women! I'm going to lose my mind. People have to speak out against this, not just JK Rowling. She can't be doing all the heavy lifting.
I know. She gets so much for it.
All the time.
And she's willing to just make herself that target.
And then they have, on top of that, an actual Quidditch game came out this week.
Quidditch team.
They have a whole league.
Yeah.
Which is a bunch of losers. You should not be drawing attention to yourself. You should die of embarrassment and shame for even playing this game. But they run around with brooms between their legs playing Quidditch.
For real?
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. They play the game, but they can't fly.
Well,
you know how they fly? At least they fly in Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's all they do.
They
in
run
Harry
around.
Potter.
It takes the spirit of the game in the book. This is just a very exciting, intense, and fun sport to both watch and play, which I think is why we've been so successful.
I watched one.
Sam
what was I watching?
Luna hates Harry Potter.
Imagine that, but on the ground.
Yeah.
With people running awkwardly with brooms between their legs.
And they want to change the name Quidditch because of the transphobia of J.K. Rowling, who made up the game. She literally made up the whole game. And they want to change the name of it and distance themselves from it. You should be distancing yourself from the fact that you play this game.
You're riding on broomsticks.
You're not even riding.
You're running on broomsticks.
You're pretending to ride on broomsticks.
I did that when I was 5.
It's just
no, they took her name off the new movie coming out. Yeah, or the trailer for the new movie.
My God.
It's all a bunch of bullshit.
She's still getting all the money.
She's not transphobic either.
No,
that's the thing
she's
that's
not.
so crazy.
She's just standing up for women.
Yeah, and you can't do that and not be called a transphobe, which is the patriarchy so crafty. They will convince women who are standing up for women that they're transphobic. Do we see what's going on here, sheeple?
Right.
But the thing, too, that's like even more fucked up about this is that...
Which doesn't seem like there can be much.
But it's the minute the police arrest you and they ask you, what do you identify as? So you can be a man all your life and up until that moment then be like, I'm a woman.
Yeah,
right.
You can get done with your raping, get caught, get pulled into the police place, and then be like, I identify as a woman so I can go in the women's prison and do more raping.
And up the rape sexual assault stats while I'm at it.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be women on women rape. Oh, gee, why is there an explosion of women on women rape in the women's prisons? Because they're fucking men.
Yeah.
Biological men.
In 100 years, when we look back on the stats of this time, they'll be like, what was that? It was
We won't be here in 100 years.
Society collectively lost its mind.
This is Douglas Murray. This is the shit that happens before civilization collapses. Douglas Murray always says this. People get crazy about gender and they start doing all this weird shit and lose their minds.
And then the Dark Ages come again.
Yeah, we're entering the Dark Ages. All I can tell you to prepare for the Dark Ages is get your spell books out and start learning some Harry Potter wizardry because you're going to need it.
Bring out your dad.
Get the leeches ready because we're going back.
Dumpster diving.
Whew. I feel like this whole episode has been a dumpster dive. What's next in the dumpster?
Ohio police are looking for a missing 58-foot-long bridge.
Okay, look, the cost of lumber is through the roof. What do you expect people to do? This bridge was disassembled and it was just sitting in a field, apparently. They make it sound like they just took the bridge.
The bridge vanished overnight. Yeah.
No, it was disassembled and just sitting in a pile. So, I mean, you're making it pretty easy for people to take some nice treated wood.
Yeah, treated deck boards.
Some hippie is living down by the water in a nice shanty they built with this.
With reclaimed wood.
Yeah. This is being turned into something on Etsy right now. It just shows you that anything's up for grabs in this lawless country of ours.
Rumors about former First Lady Nancy Reagan having the best blowjob game in Hollywood's MGM backlot have resurfaced.
I mean, I feel like Dave has more to say about this than I do.
Well, it's just like Ronald Reagan was such a terrible actor. Now it all makes sense how he was getting all these parts. Come on, Nance, blow me through the MGM lot.
Now we know how old Ron made it in Hollywood.
It's like now we know why Nancy's teeth were so white.
Oh, Jesus. Don't slut shame Nancy Reagan, people. She was an American icon. I don't know. This all started because classically Abby, Ben Shapiro's sister, posted a question on Twitter that went viral. She said, would you rather be Madonna at 63 or Nancy Reagan at 64? And it was like supposed to be classy versus trashy, or trashy versus classy.
Then some old rumors resurfaced, apparently.
Then some rumors resurfaced about old Nance. I don't know. I'd rather be neither of these people at 64 years old. How about neither? And all I have to say is that only one of those ladies was married to a president. So I think we know who gave the best blowies, don't we?
You don't want to be known as the throat goat at 64?
I'm already known as a throat goat at 43. Sorry,
there early. Breaking Bridget. Penn directed its female swimmers to mental health services when they complained that a transgender athlete is out-competing them.
I'm going to lose my mind and go crazy. This is gaslighting. The people who are like, hey, this biological male, they're kicking our ass in the pool and we don't feel great about this and it's unfair. And they're like, yeah, you need to go to the mental health support services and your parents do too because you're the crazy ones. This is like 1800s, you're crazy, so we're going to take your uterus out.
Oh.
This is just back. It is bananas to me. Again, it's another article where if you read it, it just continues to get worse. I saved some of my favorite quotes. The university sent a terse response to the parents. The parents wrote a letter because a lot of the kids are crying. These girls are getting... What's the point of training for anything if you know that some biological male is going to come, transition, and kick your ass in any sport? Why would you even bother? It makes me so mad. And it makes me mad that they've convinced women to co-sign on this bullshit, that they bully and scare people into silence, and that if you say anything, you have to be anonymous because you're afraid that these activists are going to come after you. And so the university sent a terse response to the parents, claiming the school is doing what it can to help the student athletes navigate Leah's success, Leah Thomas, and shared a link to mental health services. I'm gonna lose it. I want you to know that if I start revolution, this is gonna be the shit that breaks me.
Yeah.
This is why. Penn Athletics is committed to being a welcoming and inclusive environment for all our student athletes, coaches, and staff, and we hold true to that commitment today and in the future. We've encouraged our student athletes to utilize the robust resources available to them at Penn, and I'd like to share them with you as well, the school wrote to parents, providing links to counseling and psychological services, the LGBT Center, restorative practices, and our Center for Student Athlete Success staff. So we're supposed to all rearrange everything around one biological male that we're centering in this. Everybody else is supposed to be, they're the crazy ones. I can't. After the race, the teammate said Thomas could be overheard bragging, "That was so easy. I was cruising," before adding, "At least I'm still number one in the country." Which is what I was saying last week. I was joking that are these people finishing this race like, that was easy.
That was a fair win.
Apparently there's multiple sources that report this is exactly what they're doing. I'm gonna lose it. I am going to lose it. Women! It really is bullshit, though. Women are losing scholarships. They're losing their times. They're losing... How is not everybody speaking out against this? How is everybody co-signing this? I don't understand. I need someone to explain to me how this is something people look at and they're like, yeah, this is perfectly fair. It's such bullshit. I'm sorry. This is enormous bullshit. Call me a transphobe. Call me whatever you want. This is not fair. This is not fair to women. There are biological differences between men and women. This is not something we should be fighting about or screaming about in undisclosed locations. And yet here we freaking are. And this is, why don't we treat the mental illness that the person who's clearly like a narcissist has? Because that's really what we are co-signing on, is this insane narcissism. Because only narcissism would allow you as that person to be swimming against all of these other women and kicking their asses and tell yourself that that's somehow okay.
And bragging about it.
Yeah, it's narcissism. Narcissism on fire. That's what should be fucking treated here. The epidemic of narcissism in our culture. At least dumpster fire is still #1 in the country though, ladies. That's all that matters. I'm gonna lose it. Like, this stuff it hurts my brain. Because we'll get banned from YouTube for even saying this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I'll give you the internet is glorious to cleanse your palate from my psychotic rant.
Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape.
Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We will see you January 10th, 2022. Be kind to one another. Have fun. Laugh while the world burns. If you really are going to miss us, you can still check us out at Phetasy.com. We'll be lurking around in there. You'll get the unedited version, and there's a great community. And you also have to know that we will be doing walk-ins welcomes for the next 2 weeks. So if you need new content and you haven't tried our podcast out, now is the time to do it.
All right, Phetasy news.
Brianna Gray was on Walk-Ins Welcome this week. She is amazing, brilliant, and also has her own podcast. But check out Walk-Ins Welcome with Brianna. Get to know her. We do, as I mentioned, have new episodes dropping while we're off. So go subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can also subscribe to Dumpster Fire while you're at it. We are a podcast now. Mm-hmm. And you can get that anywhere. Yay. Thank you, Maggie. Even Apple. So subscribe to Dumpster Fire. I suggest going back and listening to some of the old episodes because, wow, we're bananas. We're
quite a time capsule.
Wow, quite a time capsule. We get some things right and a lot of things wrong, but we laugh either way and cry. Shop our merch at BridgetPhetasy.com. That's a great place for you to shop. Thank you, supporters, subscribers. Like, subscribe, comment, touch my bells and buttons. Thank you to Andy Chandler, Better Phetasy, Matt Monroe, Dave Yates, Brent, and Luna Viola. I can't do any of this without any of these people. They make Dumpster Fire happen. Thank you to Maggie.
Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you to Sam.
Thank you, Bridget.
Enjoy your weeks off. Get some rest. Get ready for the new year because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a show when we come back because we're going to be coming right on the heels of all the great January 6th takes.
Oh, boy.
That's right. That's what we can look forward to. Thank you, Zen Pro Audio, for the mic. Go to zenproaudio.com for all of your audio needs. Another small business we are happy to partner with and support. Thank you, Locals, for sponsoring us. And happy holidays and happy new year. And that's it. This has been your Dumpster Fire for the week of December 12th to December 18th. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make us rich!